Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Quisha King Show, where we discuss faith, culture, and politics, all geared for the next generation. Currently, the Secretary of Homeland Security, the man who's supposed to be in charge of all of this border stuff and keeping our country's borders safe and sovereign, is Alejandro Mayorkas. We have a continued border crisis, or I think more accurately described as an invasion. And we've been seeing this ever since Biden got into office. I did a little digging on Mr. Mayorkas because, y'all know I'm a bit of a nerd. I'm a bit of a thinker. I'm like, okay, so why would somebody with that important of a job just see the utter chaos, watch, from afar, from the White House, from the ivory tower, look at all these people running in at the border and be like, no, everything is cool. I see no problem. I don't know what you're talking about. We don't have a border crisis.
The border is secure. The border is secure.
Kids have been kicked out of their schools, which the Congress has had to go and pass a bill to tell American leaders, and you can't kick Americans out to put illegals in. But I thought we didn't have a problem.
The border is secure.
Anyway, so this Mayorkas guy, he was public schooled, shocker. So he's also a refugee. He fled from Cuba and they settled over in Beverly Hills. So he went to Beverly Hills High. So here he is at Beverly Hills High, and then he goes on to UCLA for his law degree. Now, what struck me as interesting is that Mayorkas took an entire semester off to attend a seminar by a man named Carrie McWilliams on propaganda. Now, I don't know about you. Now, my little anti-communist mind started to just get really suspicious. Maybe he really wants the invasion. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't mind the next generation of Americans to not have a country. These people hate America. Their goal is to see it being torn down. So it's not too much to think that somebody like an Alejandro Mayorkas, who took an entire semester off to attend a seminar. I mean, I'm just saying, like, who takes an entire semester off to go to a seminar? Like, what kind of seminar was it? I mean, an entire semester for a seminar? I mean, dang, that's one long seminar. I bet that he was actually being recruited. That's just my assumption because, we know the communists, they love the young people. They love the young people. They engage the young people. Unlike us conservatives, we don't deal much with the young people. We send them to the government schools, say that we want less government, yet we rely on the government to actually educate the children. I don't know. I'm just saying. And we continue to implement more laws while we're saying we want less government. I don't know. Just make it make sense to me. They actually engage the next generation so they can get them to be secretaries of Homeland Security and implement their communist agenda. You see how that works? So instead of conservatives actually engaging the young people and presenting presenting another narrative, I mean, it's not like young people don't have the capacity to understand and comprehend good ideas. They certainly do. We've certainly used to do that in the past. We've just given it all over to the left, and then, we expect for them to not be indoctrinated somehow, even though they're in these indoctrination camps for 13 years. And we're not helping. We don't have that type of organizing where we actually engage the children to where they're actually presented with different ideas than the left's. We're just going to continue to allow the left to be the ones to actually have interesting and engaging conversations with the children. I guess that's what we're going to do. Allow me to shamelessly plug my Stop School Indoctrination free workshop that I would love for you to attend. Here is a link in the description below if you would like to register, so you can know how to have these conversations and you can stop the indoctrination in the schools as parents, not with the government. So we have the American kids being kicked out for illegal immigrants. We have Mayorkas, who's, now he's being put up for, a supposed impeachment. I just don't think it's going to be very successful, seeing as though Biden he says he will sign a bill, Congress can come to an agreement. But we know the left, we know that what would be an agreement for them would probably be ridiculous for most conservatives. So probably no bill to be passed. Hence, we will continue to have a crazy open border, because I've already seen little pieces of it. There's more funding for Ukraine, amnesty stuff, because we all know that he was a member of President Obama's transition team before he assumed office. He led the team. He was responsible for the United States Department of Justice's Criminal Division. He was appointed by President Obama as the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, and he implemented Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, DACA, which is a process now that I guess would be getting them all Americanized in 60 whole days. You know, I'm sure you can do all the background checks that and all the vetting that you need to do in 60 days. I'm sure you can do that. In 2016, he went back to the private sector where he worked at a law firm. And when in 2020, he was nominated for Secretary of Homeland Security, and he was then affirmed as Secretary of Homeland Security, which is why we have the mess we have today. Part of the reason why we have the mess we have today. So now in college, he teams up with this Perry guy. Let's just take a listen to some of the things that Perry McWilliams thinks, and why someone like Mayorkas would go and spend an entire semester, take an entire semester off to go and listen to what this man has to say.
While these remedies are being applied, on the contrary, the society is changing right in the process of the application of these remedies, so that you would really need to plan in a kind of bifocal dimension. You would have to plan for the existing situation, and you would also have to plan in terms of how you wanted to transform the society itself. National economic planning is an inescapable imperative of an automated economy. We must have national planning. We must determine priorities. We must determine allocation of resources. Because if you can produce endlessly through automated processes, somebody has to decide on the question of what we're going to produce in what volume. And then I think we should try and break the nexus between work and income, and give income to people apart from the fact that they may or may not be employed.
So as you can see, Kerry was at the very least a socialist, but the FBI investigated him. And I would say what I understand about communism was a full-blown communist, just like Barack Obama, who believes that America needs to be fundamentally changed. Fits right in line with him being so favorable to a Mayorkas in the first place. We all know about the border crisis. We can go and look those things up ourselves. Here is what I want you all to pay attention to. What you have to understand about these communists is that they really believe what they believe. They actually internalize and fervently believe that America is evil. So there will be no compromising. Even if it appears to be a compromise, there will actually be no compromising in letting America stand as a sovereign nation, not under Biden, not under Obama, certainly not under Mayorkas, because they are all one, like-minded, one in the same. You guys know that I am all about solutions. If we do not find a way as conservatives, Republicans, of how to appeal and engage young people, you will never save America. You won't do it. Because while we are paying attention over here, millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of children are currently being indoctrinated in the public schools, which they will grow up to take the places of the Alejandro Mayorkas, who have now pushed America even further to the left. This new crop of kids, along with the illegals, will push America even further to the left. Hence, why we won't see the change. We cannot continue to rely just on the school boards, because again, when you are relying on the school boards, they're still being indoctrinated. There's no other information that is getting to the kids. There's no competing narrative that the children, the young people, have to contend with. We need to go directly to the children. The schools are going directly to the children. They're not dealing with the school boards and passing law. They're in there dealing directly with the kids. Let me talk to you. Let me put up my Satan club. Michelle Obama has her club. You know, they go directly to the children. But we don't do that. We say we're the ones of limited government, but we study go to the government to deal with the youth. It doesn't make any sense. How are we helping parents to engage with their children on these topics? Because there is a way, but we don't explore those ways. We're constantly going to the government. We're constantly avoiding and going around and just like we're missing the target. But the left is right on point. What do you guys think we need to do to stop things like this from happening in the future? Because if we just put band-aids on these issues and not stop the next generation of thinkers and leaders from going even further to the left, what are we going to get? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. I would love to hear your thoughts. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.